From Rixie, this is All Staff. Hey everybody, welcome to All Staff.
You just said you didn't want to do that.
That's all we're going to say. Here we are. Here's what I want to talk about. Here's what we're going to talk about.
Is you act like we're not just going to goof on you all day long. We all know this is what this record label is. We just goof on each other.
I have three things that we could possibly talk about. I'll give you all three and you guys can pick.
All right.
All right, let's go, bud.
Microphones is one. New shows is two. And three is something about Debuff. Which one do you want to hear about?
Let's go with two.
The new shows?
New shows.
Yeah.
So this is strictly an idea. So shoot me down if you are against it. But so I came up with this idea last night. Oh, I have one other thing to talk about as well. I'm going to write that down. That'll be next. I'm sorry. I mean, I've been wanting to talk to you guys, and we're
It's
finally
all
doing
good, bud. We're here for the excitement.
I'm going to make it super simple. I think that all three of us, since we now have microphones and inputs, every week, if possible, all of us with our significant other should start a strictly free-form discussion podcast with that person. So it would be me and Maddie, weekly show, talking about whatever happens during the week, Dan and Susie, Tanner and Maddie.
I have something to piggyback off that.
So, like, me and Maddie could just be like, hey, how you been? Good. Like, what's making you laugh this week? Whatever's going on. It could be 20 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. You guys could pick something and run with it, or it could just be discussion. Just like, hey, how are you? This is what's going on in my world. Dan and Susie, same thing. 3 different shows. We each edit our own podcast. So we learn how to use the program and how to edit. And we each come up with our own theme song. Thoughts. Discuss.
I'm with it. I was gonna say Susan came to me with an idea today. It was interesting. She walked in and was like, "Hey, I had an idea for a podcast," and I was like, "Cool, let's chat." And she let me know what it was called. I think it was something along the lines of Inside a Millennial's Time Capsule. And basically it would be me and her watching old like 90s, late 80s like television movies, different kinds of things maybe we knew about but never had seen before, and then we just chill and talk about them basically.
That could be cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Basically like everything that like the millennial kids had, like like old Nickelodeon and shit.
I feel like that could be your couples.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of piggybacking off of it.
That could be it. The only thing that I was thinking was, if we don't have it be a certain theme, then we don't have to make it. You don't have to put any extra work into it. Like when you and Susie sit down, you don't have to have anything prepped. You just are talking.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't have anything other than like we watched it like right before we recorded it or something.
That's cool. Dan, I like that. I think that's a good, like, pretty free-flowing idea.
That way it's right there, it's fresh, and then we can talk about it.
How do you guys feel about doing that, and when do we start? If you like it.
I have a similar idea to it, if I may add. I wanted to do a couples podcast because Maddie's opening a new music studio. I just wanted to sort of follow her progression of doing that. I feel like that could be mine.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It also could just be you guys talking about what happens every week.
With her opening the business.
With her, but also you. Like, that's the thing. I want to hear about what you guys are doing as well.
Well, I feel like this podcast is for what, like, we're doing.
Yeah, I want to bolster the amount of content that we're putting out.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be content that doesn't have so much pre-production. When we think about Butter, we have to find those people. We have to get them in. We have to schedule it. When we think about Frameform, they do a lot of prep for each episode. And All Staff, what is so good about it is that we're just coming in, what's going on with Rixie, That's it. How are you guys? Good. Goodbye. That's what I like about it. We're not coming in with this huge amount of prep. And so for me and Maddie, it's literally going to be sitting down and pressing record and like minimal editing.
Yeah.
If we decide to do it, I would say try and find something that has little to no pre-production.
Why don't you start with your take on this idea?
Well, what I want to do is what I think would be really cool, and I think I mentioned this to you guys, is have our 3 couples podcasts on one RSS feed, and they come out on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then it's like this is what we talk about with our significant other.
Oh, okay, I get that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you guys could still do those ideas within that realm, but I almost love the idea of like, this is the name of our show. It's under this RSS feed with 2 others from the founders. It's a thought. I'm just putting it out there. I just wanted to get it in the mix.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get it in the mix.
I spent like 2 hours thinking about it last night.
The only thing I need to work on is getting another mic and getting that set up too for Susie.
Yeah, which we can even figure out. Like I could just front it for you. I'm not worried about that. I have more things on my list. Let's keep rocking.
Okay.
Yo, I got stuff on the list.
I'll say this quickly. So the other computer that I had, the first one that I got for the Rixie house, had the RX-7 denoiser elements. Tanner, you remember that?
Yeah.
And it's a single use license. So I was like, shit, now the podcast studio computer doesn't have it. And so I went on their website, and last night I figured out that they're doing a holiday bundle for $50, and you get 10 of their biggest programs.
That's kind of cool.
And so I would recommend you guys spending the $50. I literally did it last night and loaded them all on the computer. I don't know if it's going to be around for another few days or not. So
is it good?
It's RX-7, RX-8. It's both of the like denoiser elements, the new and the old.
Mm-hmm.
There's one called Ozone, Neutron, Iris 2, which is like a sampler. There's a distortion one called Trash. It's worth it, and it's really easy to set up. Eventually, you guys are going to be editing podcasts on your own, and I want you to have the RX-7 elements.
Okay.
If it means using the Rixie card, use it, because I need you guys to have those elements, or at least Tanner, because I know you have a Mac.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Would it even work with the VST files on Ableton?
I think it would, but for the time
Are they
being,
.dlls?
I think you can get AUs or VSTs or whatever you need. I would assume.
Okay.
I would assume you can. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I would assume so. Isotope is like super well respected, so I think that they would have their.
I'll look into it.
Their shit in order. Okay, who else has something? I just wanted to put that out there, just to think about.
Yeah, I'm releasing a new single on the record label in like a week, so it feels like something that I should tell you guys about. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. I'm releasing a new song.
Release date
January 7th.
Jan 7.
Might be doing like an open mic. Might be hosting an open mic at Old Busthead.
Nice.
Just a local brewery for those of you who don't know.
What do you need from me? Do you need any like elements, like Instagram shit?
I mean, if you could just keep sharing what I'm posting on, like basically tagging Rixie, and that'd be awesome. It's whatever though.
Do you want any visual like story elements? Have we made any yet?
Not for this. I've just been using I have so much stockpiled photography, and I did the album art myself because I'm doing the Polaroid like pictures, just like my last 2 records.
Yeah. Okay, well, send me the final high-res art, me and Dan, just like in an email.
That sounds good. Yeah. Oh, and Dan, I know I want to show you. Damn, I wish there was a way I could do that on Zoom. It'd be fun to get like live reaction from you.
I mean, you could always just send it to me and I can listen on drive.
All right, I'm going to send it to you right now because I have a mix of it.
Okay, so Tanner, if you can do it right now, send us the high-res artwork so we don't forget.
Okay.
What do you got, Dan? I got more if you don't have anything.
I mean, I got my system all set up here. I've tinkered with, plugging in instruments and things like that. I've already figured out how to load VSTs into it and things like that as well. So, I mean, things are coming along on this end to have like a home studio. I mean, I purchased those 48 panels for the walls along with 4 bass traps for all 4 corners. So I'm going to try and have this thing lined and close to soundproof, hopefully by next week. I think those come in on the 3rd or the 4th. So
good.
Oh, also, one thing, we need to talk about that sports show.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get with him and set up a time.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
I did get it. I'm going to listen to it right now.
Dude, you're on that track. Mason, you basically like help produce the opening song of my record.
Is this the one you got mixed?
No, this isn't. Dan hasn't heard that one yet either. That one is in the Rixie folder. If you want to hear that, Dan.
Okay.
Make sure you send me the artwork so that I have it for...
I'm gonna try to send it right now. I'm not gonna lie, my computer, I've been worried about the fan. I ordered a new fan.
No, that's pretty dope though, bro. I didn't know you were going to use that.
Dude, thank you. Dan, you ripped it. It's really funny. I started like sort of demoing and workshopping the song with Maddie at some of the shows that we've been playing.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to like recreate your sax noise. So I would go, ooh, when I'm playing guitar.
Oh, shit.
And she never put 2 and 2 together. And then I showed her the record and she was like, oh my God, that saxophone is so good. She was like, that's Dan. I was like, yeah, he ripped it.
So the song you're putting out in a week is not the one that you had professionally mixed.
No, that is what I'm putting out in a week.
Yeah, this is different. He's showing me something.
I just wanted to show that this is the one that's going to open the record up.
Yeah, no, that's dope. It was funny because we wrote that on the fly.
Yeah, dude. And you used the mic that you have now.
Yeah,
is the one
what
that
I
you
used to record it.
It's just a good mic, even for a recording saxophone.
Yeah.
Mace, I'm just gonna add the album artwork to the music folder.
Yeah, can you just send me a copy just in my email? Just like share it with me or something.
All right, that sounds good.
I have 2 other things. So here's what I'm thinking, and like you guys can completely knock me down for this if you want. So here's what I'm thinking. So when we had our like end of the year 2021 production meeting, I mentioned that I was thinking about having Steve kind of pivot to like
yes,
like journalists.
Yes.
And I think I have a new idea which would be a lot easier and more fun and less work for him.
Have you talked to him about it?
I have not talked to him about this, and I'm gonna talk to him and somebody else about this in like 2 days. I think it would be really interesting if Debuff went from gaming news to gaming and the internet, and him, me, and Sean Skeels just had weekly off-the-cuff discussions about things that are going on in those industries. So Debuff is just about like gaming and the internet,
I dig it.
Okay.
Because I think he's done a good job with Debuff, but the episode length is not doing us any favors. And I think it's a ton of work for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it's better off him and Sean coming in here every week or every 2 weeks and us just having like a fun, lighthearted discussion about gaming and the internet.
Yeah, like each of you could bring like 2 or 3 gaming and internet things.
How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. That's a cool idea.
Because we're neighbors,
Yeah.
It's not like he has to drive far.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then maybe he'll feel like he can do a little less.
Yeah, because like he does a good amount of research every week,
You can get a pod mic back.
Well, see so that's the fourth thing on my list. Dude, I'm thinking about, and again, knock me down. I'm thinking about getting 3 more SM7s
SM7s?
for this studio.
What?
That is a hefty cost.
It's a hefty cost. I can afford
You like
it.
the sound better?
And dude, I mean, I'm having no troubles with this mic anymore, dude.
Is that what you're using now, right?
I'm using the SM7 right now.
Is that what I used during D&D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's great.
Well, it would make me feel good because that would mean I'd finally contributed to the mics in the podcast room.
Well, how do you guys feel about it? It would probably be $1,000 for everything.
Yeah, roughly.
But it's a tax deduction.
I mean, that's up to you, man.
Do you want the honest opinion though? Like, if it were me, I would say we should devise a plan to use that type of money. It's your money, so I can't really tell you what to do with your money. But I would say, why not like promote the stuff we have out and use the mics that we have, because we have so many mics.
The thing is that we don't. The uniformity is what I think is best for this studio. And if we have, even if it's 4 pod mics or 4 SM7s, they all sound the same. And that to me is, I think, very important. Having mixed and matched microphones, I mean, we did it for Feed the Jar, and you saw how it sounded. Like, some of them sounded worse than others. That's not to say Feed the Jar wasn't good, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent. There is one mic, in my opinion, that you could pick out of the lineup. One.
Yeah.
I just sent you all the art. There was only one, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude.
I have the money, and I'm considering it, and I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. If you were me, what would you do?
I would save that money, and I would talk to your 2 partners here about what can we do to promote the work that we have out, because I think we've created a body of work even during a pandemic that if we spent a little bit more money or time promoting like really well, I truly believe we would benefit from it. I think we've done really maybe the harder part. I don't know. Advertising is hard, but I think we've done the hardest part, which is creating like genuinely good content. I think that money could be used again, this is your money, so I can't tell you what to do with it ultimately, but I think it would be better used trying to figure out advertising. It's just me. I just sent you guys the art, by the way. It's super weird, and enjoy.
I'm a little confused.
Didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't. I thought it was a glitch on my phone for a second.
That's what I'm talking about, brah.
No, it's cool. I see you in the background, just slightly.
It's
Backwoods
like basically
Jesus.
the actual film like burning in the sunlight. I'll send you where the final art is sort of going, just so you have an idea.
Yeah. Dan, give me your input. I want to know if I'm making a bad decision or not.
So I think that you have a point with the like cohesiveness of all the mics needing to be the same. But that being said, to kind of piggyback off your original idea about the show for 2 people, I think to start, you should maybe get like 1 or 2, because, you said you were going to do that thing with Steve and Sean.
Yeah.
So if you were to get 1 or 2, you're still cutting the budget. I mean, you're still cutting your cost by a third.
Yeah.
So, I mean, or 2/3 even. So you got to think of it this way. How often is that 4th mic going to be used? And how often is it going to sit there and not be used? And I think that it would sit there and not be used as much as 2 or 3 would.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's kind of what Maddie said to me, was like, when are you going to use all 4?
Exactly.
And I said, honestly, I don't know, but I'm hoping that, sometime this year, everybody can get a vaccine and we can get back in here. And 4 is the magic number to me. We're not ever going to have any more than 4 individuals sitting in here talking at one time, I think. And so when I think about having security of having enough mics, 4 is the magic number. But everybody I think you and her make that point of you're probably going to only have 3. The only time we've ever had 4 was Feed the Jar after show commentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe 3.
That's not a bad idea.
I think that would cut your costs down a little bit, and you'd be able to put that money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Mates, the one you're actually using, I bought used.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm saying $1,000 if they're brand new.
Yeah.
I could probably get them for $250 or $300 each.
But still, even with that, you're still cutting the cost by a third. If you're only getting 2. And then you can always pick up that 4th one later on down the road once we have a show that requires 4 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just makes sense, from practical standpoint, and also your pocket would save some.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about was how we're going to edit this show, and I want this to be transparent as well. I think it would be interesting to do it this way. Each person takes a month. So I will do the first month, January.
Mm-hmm.
The next person will do February, March, and so on and so forth, so that each of us gets a chance to put it together. So what I'll do is I'll figure out the format and like how I think the bookend should be, and then all you guys have to do is carry that on.
Mm-hmm. I don't see why that would be a problem. I may have some issues with like EQing.
And that's okay. I mean, the hardest part is going to be lining everything up and making sure we make any cuts on things we're like, hey, we should cut that.
Yeah.
Did you guys want this video?
Well, I don't know.
I'm indifferent just because like I don't know if people want to watch us on a Zoom call. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think, like, God, I hate using this example, but like even like, well, Ethan Klein or like Joe Rogan, like even if it's just them chatting, when they flip to like whoever's screen is talking, right? Isn't there a function in Zoom where it's speaker? Is it speaker view?
Yeah, it picks up based off your speaker.
Like if it's if it's that. Then
yeah, it's just my camera is pretty ominous of me sitting across the room.
You look like some type of villain.
You look like you're talking to yourself.
I feel like I'm ascending from
hey,
the
man,
heavens.
If you're gonna change up Debuff, you might get some sound panels back. Why don't you just put them in the little dungeon, dude?
The dunge.
Yeah, put them in the dunge.
You glitched out pretty hard on the Zoom audio. It was like, okay. Do you guys have anything else? First of all, are you okay with the month to month?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that too.
I gotta learn how to, do the fading fishtail at the end of,
Once I get the bookends figured out, Dan, I'm gonna export those and then just so you can drop them in.
Yeah, I just got to figure out this program fully.
Over the next month, if you feel strongly about like, oh, I can do this in Ableton, then great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People love Ableton.
What we'll do to be safe, Tanner, can you take February so that we have time to figure out Dan's editing?
Of course.
Okay. So Dan, we'll slot you for March.
Okay.
And if we can't figure it out by then, I might just pull the trigger on a Mac Mini, and all you got to do is get a monitor.
I think that's what my next computer is going to be.
Dude, the M1 Mac Minis are so powerful. They're
yeah.
Like if I didn't already have desktops, that would be a computer I would absolutely recommend getting. Like they are. Everybody's like, this computer is really amazing. All right, so let's see. I'm just about at 30 minutes. Anything else, guys?
Nope. I mean, I'm good. I've got my external SSD for storage now too, so I'm pretty all set up, ready to go for whatever comes at us. Oh, the only thing I need is I need to get another mic and another arm. Definitely get another one of these pod mics.
Yeah. I definitely want to keep kicking around the idea of the couple stuff because I love the idea of one RSS feed that gets updated 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really cool idea.
It's just us talking with our significant people.
How long?
20 minutes, 30 minutes, less.
Okay.
You know, I don't
Yeah, that's not bad.
it doesn't even have to be long. That's you know what I mean? Like it's just like this is what's going on in my world. This is what's going on in Dan's world. This is what's going on in Tanner's world. It doesn't need to be about anything in particular. It's more about just like what if like Tanner and Maddie's podcast blows up? People like love hearing them talk together.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a revenue stream because people love hearing them discuss things. Or Dan or me. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea is that like let's throw some darts, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I want to keep it to just free-form discussion so they don't have to feel like you have to come up with something every week, you know?
Yeah.
If every week, like it's, for example, Tanner, for yours, it's like Maddie talks about for a few minutes, like what things she did with her studio. And you talk about like, oh, I'm doing this class with these kids. And this one kid wrote an amazing song. Like, and for example, like me and Maddie, it's like me and Maddie have been laughing about this YouTube video this whole week or this tweet or something we saw at Martin's, you know, like it could be anything. It's just like discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I listen to that. I listen to a few of those. I don't know about you guys, what podcasts you listen to, but at least
Susan
a few
does
of
too.
them are like just people discussing things, you know, even if it's funny or not funny, you know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds great. Actually, I'm going to bring this up more next week because I'm going to try to corral all the artists that we've worked with. But I want to make Rixie like a Bandcamp official record label this year. I think just being able to sell music on Bandcamp for the artists specifically would be super cool.
Yeah, we need to do that like soon.
Yeah, do you know how to do that?
Yeah, it's a little bit more money, which is why I avoided it the first year and a half.
How much is it?
It's like $20 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to do that so that everybody can start getting something.
It's something that I would handle though, and obviously talk to everyone. I think it would be really cool to be able to actually push a little bit of money from people who care to support. I would talk to them all about obviously like giving them their fair share of the music if we actually are able to put it all on Bandcamp. Because I know that some of them have their own. I obviously have my own Bandcamp as well.
But I think the singles or any albums that we release, you know, obviously we should be able to sell them on our own Bandcamp because we
Exactly.
produce them.
Yep.
So
it also would be really nice to be able to push money to these people who are making stuff who don't even sell. They're not even like selling it. Like Ed Coddington, for instance, isn't even like really selling his own music. He's just streaming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. Streaming's kind of fucked everything.
The legislation is behind on that, I would say.
Yeah, they can't.
Which hopefully it'll
Nobody's
catch
getting
up.
money for streaming unless you're doing millions and millions.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll catch up.
But that whole conversation is for another time. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you soon. All Staff is a production of Rixie, edited and mixed by myself, Daniel Walker, and Tanner Carlton. If you want to keep up with all things Rixie, follow us on Instagram at rixie.co. That's RIXEY.co. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review and rate the show. It really helps out.